How do y'all know? You're not there.
Right.
You're living in your mom's basement telling me I'm wrong about my opinion because, it's for better action between 20th and 36th. When the heck did you see that?
Yeah.
You watching on the app? You watching the dot go around the screen? Like, no. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Brad, and with me, as always, is John, and this is Race Car Spelled Backwards, episode 122. A day late and $1 short, but we made it, and we're here.
We needed an extra day to think of things to talk about.
If we would have recorded yesterday, we'd have been like, hey, what's going on? Have a good week, guys. Bye-bye. Like, it was a long day. I was just mentally exhausted yesterday anyway, so I'm good with it. I was good waiting an extra day. Honestly, until I listened to the Dale Jr. download, I really thought the most boring race in the world happened on Sunday.
Yeah, apparently it was really exciting, though.
Well, I mean, when you're Dale Jr. and you're at the NASCAR production and you have access to, I'm assuming they have more than one camera at the NASCAR production.
Yeah, at least the way he was talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, Dale Jr.'s like, I was glued. I was locked in the whole race. Like, it was this happening and that happened. And here we go with this. And out of nowhere, this happens. And then all this. And then Denny Hamlin. I'm like, what race did he watch?
I was like, man, where was that one at?
I'm listening to the Dale Jr. download thinking, I have no idea what this guy watched versus what I watched.
There was another race on Sunday?
I mean, I got out of I remember walking up to John telling him, I want to watch the race Dale Jr. watched Sunday because it actually sounded like a yes vote on the Gluck poll.
Yeah.
Not a no.
Instead, it was another very, very boring race.
Well, I mean, you had, I don't know. We'll get into it. But
yeah, we can't talk about it all now.
Yeah.
Or else we'll be done in 20 minutes.
Exactly. But no, I mean, listening to Dale Jr. made me think, okay, we can record a podcast. We got a little bit of stuff to talk about. But I mean, no, it is what it is. Race is what it is. I mean, everybody online kept saying, oh, it's a great race from 20th to 35th. But
all Fox is showing is
William Byron. We watched William Byron for 2 full stages.
Yeah.
Didn't show anything but his car. Like, wow, man, this is horrible. I mean, he took a nap. I took a nap.
Yep.
I mean, both of us took a nap during NASCAR. It's crazy. But my thing is, all these people online telling me how good it is. How do they know?
Right? Like, were you there?
Yeah, and I know they're not. I mean, it's clearly that this dude lives in, San Diego, California or something like that. And if they got good racing going on between 20th and 35th, if you're just paying attention, I'm like, paying attention to what, dude? Like, are you watching the dots on the NASCAR app go around in circles?
Seriously, because from the production that we watched on TV, we watched William Byron.
That was it. It was probably as entertaining as watching the dots go around on the NASCAR app.
The thing is that, like, on the broadcast, they, like, only show the top 10.
If that. Mostly just the top 4.
Yeah, and nothing was happening in the top 10.
Nothing was happening in the top 15. But yeah, to your point, they never just you can keep talking about William Byron and how great he is all the race long if you want. I don't care. Just take the camera, and if there's 2 cars side by side, move the camera to that.
Yeah, right.
Just find us something. And if there's nothing, go to a commercial. Bring Richard Petty back. I mean,
yeah,
do something. I mean, you got to be able to do something. So, but no, other than what else we've been up to? Anything else we need to talk about before we jump into
I mean,
Our tie ran on racing,
not really. We sat in the rain.
trying to put a deer stand together.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it was fun. When else did we sit in the rain?
Bass Pro Show.
Oh yeah, we sat in the car waiting on the rain to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, we sat in the rain. We put a deer stand together, partially in the rain, partially in the baking sun.
Yeah, the humid baking sun actually.
that was hot.
Yeah.
And it was like no instructions. It was a crazy. I mean, we had instructions, but they gave us a Ziploc bag full of bolts, different sizes,
Yep.
and washers. And it's like 4 washers per bolt. It's the craziest thing. So we had to use a tape measure to figure out which bolt was which.
Yeah, because none of the bolts were labeled. So
Nothing was labeled.
Everything came in a little baggie, and then there was a little sheet in the front of the page that said this is bolt A, it's this long. This is bolt B, it's this long. But nothing was labeled in the box. So we, like you said, we had to get the tape measure and measure each individual bolt to make sure we were using the right one.
If we'd have been smart, because I separated everything in piles, we would have measured the bolt and wrote the letter on the box that it was set on. And then we wouldn't have had to keep measuring it the whole day.
I thought about it. Like,
why don't you just do it?
No.
You're 18, just take initiative, son.
No, afterwards. I thought about it afterwards.
Me too. Like a week later.
Yeah, exactly.
Today. Just now I thought about it. Like, that would have been brilliant.
Yeah.
But no, we didn't do that.
Like, man, we needed like some sticky notes or something.
Yeah, it was.
I think because it was raining when we started.
That was the hard part when it was raining. So we're trying to keep the instructions dry. So we had those in the Connex trailer, trying to keep those dry. So we're going back and forth. It was fun. It was an adventure. We got 1 down, 3 to go.
Yeah, that's right. It only took us 5 hours.
5 or 6 hours. Yeah, it was a long day of assembling.
Yeah, it was.
We barely left the back of the truck.
Yeah,
we just assembled all day.
I know.
What else? You sang at church for the first time. That was cool.
Oh yeah, I kind of forgot about that. My mindset was just we're gonna do it and we're gonna keep going. We're not looking back. We're just.
So you haven't went back and watched it?
Well,
I went back and watched it.
No,
if anybody wants to see John sing, our church service is available on YouTube from last week. You can go watch it. If you want to check, if you want to, just hit me up on social media. I'll send you a link.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, no, I was like, I'm gonna do it, and I'm not looking back.
Well, now you gotta do it again.
Exactly, and I'm not gonna look back. I'm just gonna keep going.
Well, I mean,
maybe I'll look back on the next one, but I don't want to. I did the best I could. I practiced a bunch last week, and
I thought you did really good.
Yeah, and so I know I did the best I could, and I know if I listened to it, I will have wanted it to be better. But I know you'll
deconstruct it.
Exactly, because I mean, that's just how I am. I'm always trying to improve and finding ways to improve, but I don't want that, so I'm just keeping going.
That's how I was when we started doing the podcast years ago. I struggled listening to it because I would just break apart everything I was saying or how I said something, or I would pick everything apart. And it don't faze me now. So once you do it a few times, it won't bother you.
Yeah, but that's why for this first one, I'm just keeping going, looking forward, not looking back.
You did a really good job. We were really proud of you.
Thank you.
I was getting choked up the whole time. I was trying to sing along with you, but I couldn't. Like every time I'd go, a word would come out, it would get caught in my throat, and I'd get choked up. I couldn't look at anybody because I thought I'd break down crying if I looked at anybody. I was like doing the best I could not to cry. Choked up. Your mama was probably crying. I know your Mimi was bawling. So we was all proud of you.
I know. Yeah, I was talking to Pastor Griffin afterwards, and he was like, "You just gotta." He's like, "Were you nervous?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, that's when you just gotta find one person." I was like, "No, I'm looking at the back wall. I ain't looking at nobody."
That's what I did when I got up and spoke on stage that one time. I looked past everybody. Like I'm staring at a brick wall.
Yeah, I'm either staring at the brick wall or the slides in the back.
Yeah, that's me. I don't want to look at nobody because what if they make a face?
Exactly.
Then I'm done.
What if
ruined it?
What if they notice that I'm looking at them?
Well, then you better pick somebody who won't care.
Exactly.
You had me and your mom on the front row pretty much. So
yeah, I knew I couldn't. I knew I couldn't look that way.
Oh no, you can't look at the youth.
No. That's the direction I looked at. I couldn't.
They don't bother you?
Nuh-uh. I couldn't look y'all's way. I was like, I can't. I couldn't do it. I was like,
I think the more you do it, the easier to get.
Yeah.
All right. Before we dive too deep in today's show, let's give a shout out to our perspiring sponsors. Let's give a shout out to our presenting sponsor, Designs by Sydney. Sydney is a master of graphic design, creating everything by hand with a personal touch. She has you covered if you're looking for unique NASCAR driver stickers celebrating each week's winner. But that's not all. She also offers custom logos, letterheads, t-shirts, and a whole range of custom stickers. Do you need to revamp your business's branding or boost your social media with eye-catching graphics? Then Sydney is the artist for you. Check out Designs by Sydney today for all your design needs, where creativity meets craftsmanship. And for the month of April, use code CAR0425 at checkout and get $5 off an order of $25 or more. That was CAR, C-A-R, 0425 at checkout. Now, let's get back to the show.
The first time you said car there, you said it like so pronounced. Car?
Car.
I was like,
Car.
car.
I was trying to enunciate. Car. Such a hard word. I need to enunciate all the syllables in car.
Every single one of the one syllable.
All of that syllable, I'm going to get it right every time, man.
That's right.
Car. Yeah, I was, channeling my inner smart person. You give me crap every week. One day I'm gonna hit you with this. I'm gonna hit you with these custom stickers. I'm just pow.
Look, that's another thing they're good for. Look at that.
Hey, you're 18. It's not child abuse anymore.
Oh crap.
All right. So also the best race of the weekend poll Sydney puts out every week. This week, 14% voted for the Cup, 59% voted for Xfinity, and 27% took a nap during both races. More people took a nap during both races than watched or enjoyed the Cup race.
Wow.
Yeah, it's scary, man. It really is. Like, whenever you think, can NASCAR get any worse? It does.
Yeah, I mean, out of all the races, Darlington to not be like this great race.
Well, they said the worst it's never finished like out of the 70s on the Gluck poll.
Yeah, like until this one, the lowest was 71%.
Yeah, and this one was
46.
46.
But I'm surprised it's even that high.
Oh, I was floored. I mean, I was completely shocked by how high the score was on the Gluck poll. I'm like, there's no way.
Yeah, I mean, even on the teardown, they thought it was going to be below 20.
I was thinking it was going to be close to Texas. Like that was. I was thinking we were getting in the teens again.
I mean, especially with everything going on with Throwback Weekend and some of the throwbacks not being that great, with the incredibly boring race, and then for all of that, you get a Denny Hamlin win.
Yeah, I mean that's the only thing that saved the whole weekend. For me, I mean,
yes, but for the majority of NASCAR fans,
well, the majority of NASCAR fans needs to listen to Actions Detrimental because we're always complaining about the lack of personality, and I know Bianchi's like, well, you just got to look for it.
Well, maybe
what do you want me to move in with them? I mean,
maybe they should show us.
Yeah. What more can I do?
Like I'm watching NASCAR. How much more looking do I need to do?
You throw a tweet out once a month. That's not that's not showing me you have a personality, Jordan.
Yeah.
You got to look for the personality. It's out there. Like, Bubba Wallace, can I please come live in your basement for a month so I can determine if you have a personality? I mean,
trying to find the personality.
Which Bubba's got his YouTube videos he does after the race. So I give Bubba credit. He's trying to build his brand and get his personality out there. And the YouTube videos aren't actually bad. I've grown to kind of like them. So I think they're kind of comical. And you get to see a lot of Blaney in there. Blaney's got a personality. He used to have the Glass Case of Emotions podcast or whatever it was with the glass holes.
Yeah.
He had that for a long time. And so, I mean, Blaney's got a personality. You just don't get to see it.
Yeah.
Which is crazy with social media. You think you would see these guys' personalities all the time.
Right. But you really don't. It actually kind of makes you realize that, especially compared to other sports, majority of NASCAR drivers, pretty chill people.
Yeah, I mean, other sports they're getting arrested though.
Exactly, like
it's a little different.
Exactly, NASCAR we're pretty mellow in terms of our.
Well, we've had our drivers in the past.
Yeah,
and their domestic disputes, things like that. But
But there's also,
Nothing on the scale of NASCAR. I mean,
not,
NBA, NFL,
yeah, where
MLB.
it's like, oof.
Yeah, it's getting a little rocky over there.
They also have a lot more players.
Oh yeah. Well, I think too, NASCAR, the drivers, especially now, like, look, I think you have more personality in the 90s because these drivers, they went to school, they graduated, they got a real job, they worked hard for years, and then they built a race car on the weekend, and then in their 30s, they decided to go NASCAR racing.
Yeah.
So these guys had a lot more personality back then because they had lives.
Right.
Now these drivers are
racers
from 4 years old on. All they do is race all the time.
Yeah.
Most of them are nerds.
Yeah. I mean, come on. Look at Austin Cindric and tell me he's not a nerd.
Yeah. And he'll own it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he'll own that fact that he's a nerd. But that's what I mean. Like, they spend all this time in a car.
Right.
They don't go out. Not that they don't go out, but they're not developing their own personality.
But I mean, to your point, to be competitive, especially in NASCAR, you have to be on the grind.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
It's got to be nonstop.
And especially, we have one of the longest seasons in any sport, so it's not like we're giving them any time anyway.
I mean, if we don't get rid of this car, we're going to need to cut the season in half, in my opinion. But
yeah,
race everywhere once, have a 3-race shootout for the championship, and call it a season.
Yep.
I mean, I hate this car. I absolutely hate this car. I mean, everything that is wrong with NASCAR right now is this car.
I mean, it's definitely a pretty big part of it. So,
I mean, you have 36 cars on the track that are identical. You have 36 drivers who share their data with each other who drive identically.
Everyone shares everyone's data.
And we wonder why there's no passing.
Everybody is the exact same.
There's no difference in it. You have slight differences here and there. And that's just in the engine department.
As far as the car goes, though, there's really, and besides the motor, there's really no difference anywhere because we're in our 4th season of this next gen car. We've almost mastered this car pretty much. Like, we've almost pretty much mastered this car.
And the better they get, the worse this is going to get.
Yes, and now there is one right way to drive this car. And since all the data is shared, we have figured out that right way to drive the car.
The only way to fix it is a new car.
It is.
But they've dumped so much money into this car, the engineering NASCAR has.
I hate to break it to you. I hate to break it to the teams, but sorry, you lost. Like, NASCAR has lost you money.
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, if we go to a new car, everybody can make money again.
Exactly. But, I mean, by the time that, it's going to be a profit, there's not going to be a sport left.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this, we can't keep. I mean, I'm not going to keep watching year after year after year the same thing. I mean, because if Denny's right, and it's only going to get worse, because Denny's the one that said the closer the drivers get to each other, the less passing we're going to have.
Yeah. And if it's only going to keep getting worse, I mean, especially when we have a Darlington race that was as boring as this, when Darlington's supposed to be one of our most entertaining tracks, if it's only going to get worse, we might only have 3 entertaining races a year.
Yeah, and that's horrible.
Yeah.
We got to fix it. Or NASCAR has to fix this. They can't keep doing this to us.
Yeah.
Please.
And so, well, I was thinking about it. If the cars are so similar, why do Penske, Hendricks, JGR, 2311,
motors
run so well? Well, I think it's partially motors, pit stops, pit crews, all the data analysts that they have and all that for strategy and everything like that. I think that's the only reason we see these teams dominate is because they have more resources to calculate strategy and get the best pit crews. And that's the only reason we see these teams dominate.
I mean, we just heard Denny wins at Martinsville. The race is so boring. He spends 40 minutes on his podcast talking about his jackman swirling around behind his back, twisting things. And, doing his magic choreograph.
And
then the next weekend,
boom.
they win because of that.
Yeah, they win because of a phenomenal pit stop.
It is the craziest. You know, when Denny was talking about after Martinsville, I'm like, this is boring. I don't care. Blah, blah, blah. Well, then Sunday to see it, to actually see the difference in their stops and the other team stops.
Especially when, it was crunch time.
Yeah.
Like this
it's kind of amazing.
It was like, okay, shoot, maybe they're onto something.
Well, they're definitely on to something.
Yeah, I mean.
That was pretty phenomenal what they did.
And especially like how much they came out of that body. Like it wasn't close.
No, I was waiting on a penalty.
I thought I was too.
I was like, there's no way that's not a penalty for Denny.
It was so fast and he came out so far ahead of everyone else that I was like,
he's getting a penalty.
There's got to be a penalty somewhere in there.
Nope, no penalty.
What, he came in third?
Yeah, and come out first.
Yeah.
I'm a Denny fan anyway. Like he might have came in fourth actually. Because
I think he passed Bill.
Did he?
I think he did.
Okay. Well, it was either third or fourth, but
because it was Blaney, Byron, Denny, then Bell, I think, because Blaney and Denny were kind of following each other for a while there.
Either way, Denny Hamlin's pit crew delivers. Denny gets the win for an extremely boring Darlington. In my opinion, it was boring. Now, I understand from 20th to 35th, the people who imagined it in their head
really
thought it was great and entertaining. Maybe the radio talked about them a lot. I don't know. But I know everybody that was at the track said it was a good race in the middle. But all we have to go off of is what Fox shows us.
Yeah.
So Fox is horrible.
If Fox is only showing us, Byron, then of course we're not going to be enjoying the race.
Well, the other thing is, like I was telling you Sunday, if the race is boring, because back in the 2000s, we would go to Atlanta, and after 4 laps, Atlanta was a snooze fest until the last 15 laps, and then it was like, wow, what the heck happened here? What's going on? Why are they side by side? So, but the booth back then was entertaining. It was kind of like a podcast. They were up there talking with each other, and we were listening. We were tuned in. And then every once in a while, they'd tell you something that was going on the track. But they built up storylines. They built up personalities. They built these drivers up. I'm sorry, but Clint, Kevin, and Mike are not doing that.
No.
They got up there Sunday, and as soon as this race got drawn out.
All right, let's get Richard Petty up here.
Yeah, like, no offense. Like, I love the King, and we need to hear those stories, but the race shouldn't be that boring where all we get to do is talk about old stories. I mean, granted, that was more entertaining than the first stage.
Yeah, it was.
Maybe they should just have, every 25 laps have another another old person from the past, another legend. I don't know what. Another old man, another old driver, whatever you want to call him, Harry Gant. Those guys.
Just keep rotating them throughout the whole race.
Yeah, I mean, we got all kind of guys from back in the day we can bring up there. I mean, whatever happened to Johnny Benson? Like, bring that guy back. I want to know what he's been up to. Like, Ricky Rudd, get him out there. I mean, Harry Gant, I know he lives in Concord somewhere. I mean, we can look these people up. You bring Kyle. I'm not a huge Kyle Petty fan, not in the booth, because I feel like he talks over his dad a lot.
He does.
Just let your dad answer. He's not senile yet, so let him answer.
He might be at some point, but we'll never, he's never going to get a word in.
Yeah, we'll never know he's senile because he won't stop talking.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, the booth just sucks. Like,
yeah,
I mean, we're talking about Fox, so let's talk about the Fox poll. So, best broadcast booth of the weekend was Cup and Xfinity. Cup got 14% of the vote. Xfinity had 86%, and we had 600 something votes, maybe. 86% went to a remote broadcast.
Yeah,
they're not even in Darlington.
And they're doing a better job than Fox.
I didn't even know they were remote, to be honest with you. Like Dale Jr. said, the only big difference between being remote is he'll see something happening on the track and he can key it up. He can get the camera guy to get over there and like, all right, this is this is about to happen. So they build it up, and then when it happens, it's a story.
Yeah,
When
but
you're not at the track, you can't do that. I don't know why though. Like the VR headsets
yeah,
during Daytona, they had a view that made me look like I'm looking out over the whole track. Why can't we have a huge screen
oh, that's a great
right
idea.
in front of them that shows, like, have a camera in the booth where they would be at that shows a view of the whole track? Have that on the wall, and then all these other screens and data, you can have that up there too. But then they would be able to look out and just have a constant feed on
Yeah,
that big screen in the background
And
of
I mean-
what's going on track.
and I think you would only really need that at short tracks and maybe intermediates. You can't do it on super speedways because at Daytona you could not see what was going on in the back straightaway.
No, but you could still have it up.
I mean, you could, but it would really only benefit, I think, in short tracks.
Oh yeah. But you could still have it up. I would have it up at every race, and it gives the fans at least know they're looking out, just like if they were in the booth. They can see everything they can see, because that's the biggest complaint for not having the booth at the track is they don't know what's going on in front of them.
But they don't even look out the booth anyway.
Well, they should. And Dale Jr. just told us why they should on this week's episode of the Dale Jr. Download.
He said that, they tell you not to, but he's like, I cheat. I cheat a little.
Yeah, and I think other people probably cheat too. I mean, Kevin, Clint, and Mike probably don't, but they should.
But yeah, I mean, like when Dale was talking about, like, I see things going on and I like kind of key it up, I was like, that's like possible? You could do that?
I think they have somebody talking in their ear most of the time. That would drive me crazy. The voices in my head are annoying enough, much less have somebody in my ear.
Yeah, let's not add another one.
What about Kyle Larson? Dude wins best throwback paint scheme of the weekend. Wrecks his first caution.
Protesting. He's protesting Throwback Weekend.
He causes the first caution, then causes the last caution.
Same spot.
I think he caught
on lap 4 and on 4 to go.
Yeah. I think the reason Bubba hit him is, he obviously let off and Bubba got into him, but I don't think Kyle realized how close Bubba was. And I think he let off trying to get out of the way.
You think?
I think he was trying to stay out of everybody's way, because they even said on one of the shows said he was coming down pit road sometimes just to get out of the way.
Oh.
On DBC, I think is where it was. They were saying that he would come down pit road even when he didn't need to pit, just to kind of get out of the way, out of people's way.
Yeah.
He didn't want to be in anybody's way. But I did think it was interesting. We haven't had a car that many laps down determine the outcome of a race since the introduction of the DVP.
I was saying a long time.
So since it's Throwback Weekend, we got to see it again.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nice.
It was another throwback.
This is what it used to be like back in the day when we would watch racing. You'd have crap flying off the car, and that would cause a debris caution at the end of the race.
Yeah.
Jacques debris all over the track.
And, you've got the people complaining, like, or maybe not complaining, but just bringing up the point. Actually, no, they probably are complaining. Let's be honest.
It's NASCAR. We all complain.
Exactly. That, now reversing the DVP rule. Now we've got problems with reversing.
No problems. Leave it like it is.
Is like, that literally could have been anybody. Like the fact that Kyle Larson came out of the garage and got back on the track, like it literally could have been any car. It just so happened to be him.
Well, people were saying he had no shot to gain any points. And he did. He could have went out and run the fastest lap. If he would have run the fastest lap of the race, who says he can't?
Yeah.
I mean, they worked on that car for 160 laps. I think they can build a car faster than that.
But also, you think about it now. Now they have a rep in. If they got to do it again, instead of 160 laps, maybe they do it in 80.
Yeah. 158.
Yeah.
So all they got to do is improve a little bit.
Yeah, and then maybe the next time you do have a chance to, get some points. But I liked what Dale said. It's just all about not giving up.
Now I like the new the new DVP rule. I like because DNF, that doesn't have to come into play now.
Yeah.
It used to be a big deal to have a DNF back in the day. Now it's not that big a deal. And like Dale Jr. said, it's normalized giving up.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. He don't like that. I don't think most race fans like that. I mean, that's the grit, right?
Right. Like keep just you keep going at it.
Yeah, this ain't tennis. Like, you don't get a bandage on your wrist and cart it off in a wheelchair. No, no, no. You use toothpicks to hold your eyeballs open so you can see after concussions. That's NASCAR.
Yeah.
Grease on the face, dirt under the nails, true grit NASCAR. Not saying that's Kyle Larson.
I was about to say Larson was sitting in his car on
watching the race.
Yeah.
Poor guy. Can you imagine being trapped in a little bitty car like that? It's probably hot.
Yeah.
And you're stuck, and all you can watch is Fox. Here, listen to the broadcast booth, Larson. This is what you get for wrecking, Kyle.
Yeah,
you got to watch the Fox broadcast.
This is your punishment
for 160 laps.
This is your punishment.
Oh, and it was the worst part.
I know.
That's the William Byron domination. So he's not only is he watching his teammate dominate, and he qualified like crap. He has to watch the worst part of the broadcast stuck in his car. He can't even move his head.
Oh, poor Larson.
Probably has his cool suit running to keep him cool. I doubt it. The car's probably also, he's sweating.
Yeah.
It's like, you wrecked my car, you listen to Mike Joy.
Larson lost 20 pounds.
He now weighs 93 pounds.
They actually were able to make the car lighter.
Yeah. I didn't realize the Brad Keselowski lug nut thing was out of the racing groove.
Yeah, I thought it was like on the track.
I did too. So I don't understand why NASCAR screwed up the race, because essentially they screwed up the race.
Yeah.
By ruining the strategy was going to make the first two stages at least interesting.
And then they got rid of that.
Yeah. I don't understand. They should have just, if you're not going to throw it, I mean, we saw it 3 laps before the caution.
Yeah, we saw
Fox is like, Fox can't get anything right, but let somebody throw a toothpick out a window of a car. They're like, there goes a toothpick out the window, and they catch it every time.
Like, how do you do it? But
you miss wrecks.
Yeah, you miss whole cars spinning out, but you will catch a lug nut.
Yeah, I don't get it. Dale Jr.'s like, that's great camera work. Like, no, they're horrible. But even a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while, so they found one.
Yeah.
The blind guy running the camera goes, hey, there goes a nut. I didn't realize it was on the racing surface until, I guess it was DBC said it. And it just kind of like made no sense to me. But NASCAR never makes sense to anybody, so.
Yeah, but I mean, like Jordan was saying on the download, you know, if it warrants a caution, then should it be a caution every time then?
No. I don't think it warrants a caution. If it's not if the only way you're going to hit it is if you're hitting the inside wall.
Yeah.
So, no, that should never be a caution. Like, I can't stand Jordan. I can't.
I know.
I listen to the teardown just to get mad at Jordan. Like, that's the only reason I listen anymore. It's like, he's going to frustrate me. I need to do this today. I just can't. He's the most arrogant person. It's just like, dude, get over yourself, Mr. Lemonade Man.
But yeah, I think
Sorry.
I think with it being that far out of the groove, like Larson's gonna have to spin out again to hit that.
Yeah, I agree. Like they could have waited to the end of the stage and picked it up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was really going to impede the race, but then. No, I don't think. No, I was gonna say, well, what if it did? I don't think it. Like,
no,
you
way
have to be wrecking.
That's what I mean. When Jordan was saying that, I'm like, I understand what Jordan's saying. Like, if they spin out and it's a caution on lap 7, it should also be a caution on the white flag lap.
Yeah,
I agree with that, but I don't think that would have ever been a caution because it's not on the racing surface. It's not. They've let things go that weren't in the groove.
Yeah,
this wasn't even on the surface, so it should have just been let go. But I don't know. What did you think about Jordan on the download?
It wasn't that bad. Actually.
I thought he did great.
Yeah, I was about to say it wasn't actually that bad.
No, because Dale Jr. keeps him in line.
I was about to say being in the presence of Dale Jr.
Well, I just think like Dale's not going to let him go on one of his tangents, and that's what Jeff will let him do.
Yeah,
him and Jeff together are great. I love the teardown. I just don't agree with Jordan. I don't hate Jordan. Actually, I like Jordan. He's actually a pretty nice guy, but he's arrogant on the show, which is kind of. Maybe it's, I feel like after meeting him, I don't feel like that's who he really is, or maybe it is. Maybe he puts on a front when you meet him, but I think it's just more of who they are on the show.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed the download with Jordan, actually.
Yeah, I thought it was actually not that bad.
No, he complimented Dale Jr. Like they did really good together.
Yeah.
I still like TJ better.
Let's not get it twisted.
No. Ryan Blaney.
Man, what a day.
What a heartbreak.
Yeah, what a day. He had the fastest car pretty much the whole day, I think. My opinion.
He was the car to beat.
He was.
After Byron.
But I mean, they just could not get it sorted out on the pit stops.
I think William Byron would have won if he wouldn't have screwed himself with that bad pit stop.
Yeah, well.
And then Blaney's pit screw. Yeah.
Yeah, pit
That's
screw.
what you should call his pit crew, the pit screw.
So the thing about the Byron pit stop though is they were like so minimally off. Like they.
It's all it takes though.
Well,
4 spots.
Yes, that is all it takes. But like between the contrast between Byron's pit crew and Blaney's pit crew was consistently every pit stop losing him track position.
Yeah.
Byron, their pit stop that cost him the lead was by like 2 seconds on a green flag pit cycle. It cost him the race, yeah. But I think Blaney's got more problems.
Oh, Blaney should be furious on Wednesday.
Oh, I know.
He should still be mad. Like it should just be an ongoing anger that just settles in.
He probably could have won Phoenix.
Yeah. Penske's won 0 races this year, but all 4 they've won 1 race with the Wood brothers, but their 3 main drivers haven't won a race, but they've all ran solid.
Yeah, I mean, he probably could have won Phoenix. He would have been a contender in Homestead.
Oh yeah, and then he should have won
today.
Darlington.
Darlington.
He was coming.
Oh, he was flying.
I mean, if Bubba wouldn't have got into Larson, buddy, screw your best friend out of a win there, bud.
Yeah.
I hate it. And Blaney, we're at, 8 races in?
Yeah.
He should be in panic mode. If you're 8 races in and your pit crew's still this bad, you should be in panic mode because
it's time to, get some work done.
It's time to make a change now.
Yeah.
Like, get work done was the last 8 weeks.
You ain't getting no work done.
No, obviously you're not. What are y'all doing? Been playing video games? Y'all trying to spin it behind your back? Just do it in the front.
Maybe they're not. Maybe that's the problem.
Well, that's the other thing with the Joe Gibbs stuff right now. It'll take other teams months
to get to their level.
They worked all off season to get that down. So
now it's going to take all these, and
you'll be into the summer before all the other teams adopt it.
It might even be longer because they've,
Gibbs is only going to get faster.
I was about to say the advantage of Gibbs, and especially them working in it on the off season when there isn't any racing going on,
nonstop.
When you don't have to be consistent week in and week out, and you can just grind out these small little details that get you a 1/10 or 2 of a second. Like they are ahead of the curve.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, I think they only get better too.
Yeah.
So the other teams, pretty much, they got to wait till next season to get caught up on the pit stops.
Yeah.
But Blaney, I hated it for him. I like Ryan. So
yeah.
Throwback Weekend. A lot of the drivers don't think we should do it anymore. Matter of fact, 19 Cup teams did not participate this year.
Mm-hmm.
Only 3 of the ones who participated actually looked like cars from the past.
What were those 3?
Cindric was close.
Yeah. Well, Larson.
Wasn't there another?
I mean, there was, Josh Berry, but that wasn't a NASCAR throwback.
But I think that was the best, honestly.
It looked good.
It was the best looking car.
It was probably the best looking car of just the weekend period.
So do we get rid of Throwback Weekend or do we rebrand it?
We rebrand it.
I think we rebrand it. I don't think we get rid of it.
You can't get rid of it.
It's still going to be, you can call it Throwback, you can call it Retro, whatever you want to call it, but I think we need to put more, like, what if instead of worrying, like, if you're going to do a throwback scheme, I think it should be for your number. And I think it should look as close to the original as possible.
As you can possibly get.
So if maybe you have a sponsor that was around back then, or maybe, I don't know, whatever, but if you're going to do a throwback scheme, I think it needs to be like 95% exact.
Yeah.
And then, but if you're not, that's okay too. If maybe you want to throw it back for that company, for your sponsor, do something. I don't care. Do something like that. That's fine too. Or if you don't want to do nothing at all, that's fine as well. But what if instead of over each window, the front window and the doors,
Yeah.
on the Coke 600 weekend, we put a veteran's name up there?
Yeah.
What if we put a legend's name?
Like a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, like Fireball Roberts or, Dale Earnhardt or, what Richard Petty, Cale Yarborough, Donnie Allison,
Yeah.
Davey Allison, what if we put Harry Gant's name, just for the 9 instead of Chase Elliott, have Bill Elliott?
Or yeah.
Do things like that. What if we honored and then maybe just for that race, each pit box does something. You know what I mean? Like maybe they have big banners with old driver photos in them in front of the pit boxes. So when you see pit road, you see all these huge banners with the legends of the sport.
Yeah, just a bunch of, or you could even do throwback banners or whatever.
Yeah, you could do so much more other than just the paint schemes. Like, I think we need to quit focusing solely on paint schemes and, the booth. I think the booth, pick a year, 1970. Okay, put you some suits on like from 1970. The graphic package you use that weekend, throw it back. Make it. Look, Fox had an opportunity to throw it back to themselves in 2002 when they did good with graphics instead of this crap they do now. Do things like that. Like, make a big ordeal of it at the racetrack.
Yeah.
But make a big ordeal of it on the broadcast, too. I liked having Richard Petty. I say bring some other guys up there, though. I feel like we bring the same guys a lot.
Yeah.
Bring some other guys up there. Have one guy per stage, there's so much more we could do.
Yeah.
Than just the paint schemes.
Yeah.
I don't want it to go away.
No, I don't. I would hate to see it go away as well. And yeah, we've talked about this quite a bit over the throwback weekend and what we should do about it. And what you said is pretty much, we're both on the same page.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love for it to seem like a bigger deal than just the paint schemes, because that's really all it is right now, is paint schemes.
Yeah, the drivers could throw it back with their fire suits. Noah Gregson in the Tim Richmond look a few years ago was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Walking around with his fire suit undone and no shirt on, like that was Tim Richmond cool. Like, things like that can be done. We should tell stories during pre-race. When the race is drawn out and boring and you're falling asleep, tell some stories. Talk about the bootleggers,
or even like old Darlington stories.
Yeah, we should show clips from old Darlington races. Like, I just think there's a lot more we could do with it. And you could throw your paint scheme back to your company, or you could pick a style. Like, maybe you go back to the 1960s and the style paint schemes they use. Maybe you make a brand new retro style paint scheme that works with your sponsor. Because I get it. Sponsors do 3-4 races, whatever. I understand why a sponsor wouldn't want to change their brand for one weekend, but maybe you use their current brand, but you make the car look retro.
Yeah.
With their new brand on it. You could design it around the whole thing.
Could you imagine if Tyler Reddick had a retro McDonald's car?
Exactly.
That would have been sick.
That's what I mean. Like, you could do so much more if you're don't like Chase Elliott's paint scheme. Like, that was horrible.
That was terrible.
Which is why he was so salty anyway, because he had to drive around in that ugly floating turd all day. Like, I understand why he was. Too. I was mad for him.
Yeah.
I felt bad. Then you had Ryan Blaney, who they didn't even use the avocado green color. They used some blue color. It's like,
yeah,
close. But if you have to show me the old car so I know what your new car looks like, this is not even.
Yeah,
you've done such a piss poor job. I don't even want to see it at this point. Like, just, it either needs to be 95% or better,
like instantly recognizable.
And the fact the teams didn't want to move the numbers back blows my mind.
Yeah, well, okay, it did blow my mind till Denny and the Teardown started talking about it.
Yeah, they don't want to give up the sponsorship stuff.
Yeah, it's like the way that these contracts or these agreements are signed, sponsorships pay for so much room on their car for their logo to be on the car. So if they move these numbers back, it makes their logo smaller, and then the sponsors aren't getting the agreed upon space on the car.
Yep. So it makes sense. I get it. I don't like it.
But like you said, I think on the way home from Bass Pro Shop is, well, what Darlington, it should all be factored into their contract or their deal or whatever. Like Darlington is our throwback weekend. Do we want to do a throwback? All right, if we do a throwback, this is what has to happen.
Yeah, and if you don't want to do a throwback, that's fine. That's not one of your 3 races.
Yeah.
I think it should be negotiated in like, I really do. It should, if you work it in, then you got a better shot of making it look halfway decent than if you don't work it in.
Yeah.
And if you don't participate, I'm good. Like I said, you could design your current car to look retro.
Yeah.
I mean, just put a bunch of bright neon colors on it, look like it's from the 80s. That purple.
Yeah.
I mean, there's I don't want it to go away whatsoever. I think the fans, I enjoy it. I enjoy the history of our sport. If we lose the history of our sport, then we lose our sport.
Yeah.
All right. Did I tell you I was going to buy season tickets to the Baltimore Ravens because I heard Dale Jr. was their new quarterback?
Really?
Now that I know the whole deal, it's like I was fired up, man.
Oh my gosh. When you told me about it, I was like, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. There's no way.
So Lamar Jackson filed a discrepancy with Dale Jr.'s trademark claim for the number 8. Not the Bud 8, not the one we all love.
Yeah.
That 8 is a done deal pretty much. That's Dale Jr. He even said he don't need the other 8. The other 8 was a backup 8. But Lamar Jackson filed a dispute against it because he don't want his fans to accidentally buy a Dale Jr. shirt thinking it's him.
Gosh, do you hate when you go to a Baltimore Ravens game and you show up in this red T-shirt with this white guy?
Like my Lamar Jackson shirt? Like, huh. I don't think that's Lamar.
With this white guy and his NASCAR with his Budweiser sponsor. And you go to this Baltimore Ravens game and you look out on the field and you realize that their quarterback is black and wearing purple.
This is not the same guy.
You're like,
one of these things is not like the other.
Yeah.
I don't get it, man. Like nowhere on earth. Well, maybe in Africa because they don't know who won the Super Bowl. Those poor kids in Africa think the losing team won every year.
Yeah.
They get all excited, but maybe there. But nowhere else on earth has anybody ever went into a Walmart and walked out with a Dale Jr. shirt going, check this Lamar Jackson shirt out I got.
Yeah.
He's the greatest quarterback in the world. I don't know why he's driving a Budweiser car or why he's a white dude. I haven't figured any of that out, but Lamar Jackson, here we go.
Yeah. Oh, man. What was even better for me? And so I take guitar lessons and, you know, we're pretty close. And so I asked him, I was like, do you know who Lamar Jackson is? He's like, oh, no, I don't watch sports. I was like, okay. Do you know who Dale Earnhardt Jr. is? He's like, oh, yeah, I know who Dale Earnhardt Jr. is. I was like, well, did you know that Lamar Jackson is filing this discrepancy because he thinks people might get confused between him and Dale Earnhardt Jr.? He goes, isn't he a race car driver?
Well, I mean, apparently he's got issues with Troy Aikman. I mean, he's all mad about number 8. You know, Kyle Busch better watch out. He's not even the only current NFL quarterback who wears the number 8.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it. He's just mad because Josh Allen beat him at the MVP, and this is his way of seeking attention during the offseason.
It's his publicity stunt.
Hey, go Bills.
I mean,
Josh Allen, MVP, not you, Lamar. Sorry. I think he's an idiot.
Look, I mean, like I said, of course it would be Lamar Jackson to do something like this.
100%. It did not surprise me. I mean, it's either going to be Mahomes or Lamar Jackson. One of the two are going to do something stupid like this. So
I don't know. I feel like Mahomes is kind of quiet for the most part.
Well, he's not suing anybody over their number.
Exactly. So
he's not showing up at Darlington with a protesting. No more 8. No more 8.
I mean,
getting all of his. I mean, you got this dude's ego. Like it. I don't know how he fits it inside the helmet because you're talking about the Baltimore Ravens. Wait, I mean that's one state.
Yeah.
Dale Jr. That's all 50 states. Like NASCAR's everywhere. Dale Jr. is probably bigger than NASCAR, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
More people have heard of Dale Jr. than can name current NASCAR drivers.
Yeah.
I would say Dale Jr. is probably bigger than NASCAR as far as recognizable. But no, if it would have been for the Budweiser number 8, it would have been over.
It would have been over.
Somebody would have burned his house down. He would be in protective custody. He would have to quit the NFL, go into hiding.
Look, Lamar Jackson, he was going to know how Kyle Busch felt for a couple years there.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Junior Nation came out in full force that night.
Yeah.
I was fired up, boy. I tell you what. All right, Rick Ware Legacy Motor Club lawsuit. Apparently, this is what I know. They got an agreement to sell a charter from Rick Ware to Legacy. Rick Ware currently has that charter leased out to RFK for the next 2 seasons. You can only lease a charter for 1 year. So he needs both charters. So next year, Cody can still drive.
Mm-hmm.
Then in 2027, he was selling one of his charters to Legacy, and he was just going to keep one, and Cody's going to be his driver.
Well, at least that was Rick's plan.
Yeah. Well, Rick says Legacy changed the wording on the document to 2026, didn't tell him, had him sign it, and now Legacy's saying that he's not honoring it. I don't know which side I believe, to be honest with you.
Look, if it played out, they had this contract, it said 2027, maybe it said 2027 in the beginning, and then Legacy changes it, and Legacy's claiming it says 2026 all over this contract. And
they signed it in multiple places.
Yeah, that they signed it in multiple places. You couldn't miss 2026. And so if that's true, then it's a really bad look on Rick.
I think it's a bad look either way on both of them, because like on one hand you got lovable, likable Jimmy Johnson. Like, I don't know how you dislike Jimmy Johnson. He's like the teddy bear of NASCAR. And then on the other hand, you got probably the last mom and pop's operation in NASCAR, Rick Ware Racing.
Yeah.
And, our entertaining Cody Ware. So it's like, I don't feel like Rick Ware Racing is lying here. And yeah. I don't feel like Legacy would do this either. So
it's hard to.
It's a bad look on both of them at the moment. And I don't know that there's a good outcome here. Because at the end of the day, one of them is trying to pull something shady.
Yeah.
I just don't see why Rick Ware would agree to a 2026 signing if he already knew what he was planning on doing.
Right.
Like he had this lease already in place. Why would he agree to sell it too?
He knows if he sells it in 2026, he don't have a car. You don't have a charter for 2026.
Correct. That's what I mean. Honestly, I'm leaning more towards the Rick Ware side of this one at the moment.
Yeah. I'm
not really taking sides on this. This is not like NASCAR versus the teams.
Yeah.
This is more, I feel like Rick Ware is probably in the right, and that I'm hoping Jimmy didn't do something crazy, but I'm thinking maybe it was probably Jimmy's business associates and lawyers and all that who did it, but maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how. Jimmy's the sole owner now, so
who knows?
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out, but
it's an interesting situation.
Yeah. Bristol. We are going to Bristol.
Well,
this could be the greatest race of the season, or it could be Martinsville, Darlington, over again.
I hope Denny's been saving his pee.
I hope Denny goes out and pees all over this track. They're going to put tire compound down. Pee in the compound, Denny, please.
I mean, it worked last year.
We had a great Bristol because you peed in something.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what you peed in, but you peed in something and turned this race into a good one. So
you better be drinking a lot of water. That's all I'm saying.
I'm with hydrogen water. Maybe that's what you need.
Just whatever helps.
So Bristol's this weekend. I don't expect it to be like last year. I expect it to be probably similar to the fall race. I think the temperatures are going to be similar to the fall race.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be. I mean, maybe we'll be pleasantly surprised, but I'm not.
I hope so.
I'm not getting my hopes up. So who you taking?
Okay, we're good.
Yeah. That guy.
Yeah.
He'll win it.
No, had to sneeze and
I'm taking Denny Hamlin.
Escaped me. Yeah, you're giving Denny the same treatment I gave Bill.
Yeah, pretty much. I got lucky last weekend with my pick of Denny. Like,
Yeah, no
I
kidding.
did not think he had a shot at Darlington, so
Oh, speaking of
thank you to
picks
his
from last
victory.
weekend, Bubba ran pretty good for a lot of the race, just wrong side of the strategy.
That's fact.
But
Bubba wasn't a bad pick.
no, I
Bubba
mean,
was actually a really good pick.
he was running well.
Yeah, he just got caught in the strategy game.
Yeah. No, I think for this week, I'm gonna go with a Chase Briscoe.
Briscoe.
Yeah, I think Gibbs has. I think if Briscoe can have a good weekend, I mean, did we run Bristol later in the year last year?
Yeah, you run early and later.
Yeah,
there's 2 races at Bristol every year.
Yeah, right. Okay, and I just remember Briscoe did really good in that later race, and that was before he was even at JGR. So I think JGR's got a really good short track package right now. At least if anything transfers over from Martinsville, and Briscoe runs good at Bristol. So
Briscoe's a good pick. I thought he was going to do better at Darlington. That's why I was looking at. He finished 30th at Darlington.
Yeah, he had a bad day.
No, he didn't finish 30th. He finished 28th.
Wow.
30 drivers were on the lead lap at Darlington. That's crazy on a short track.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Well, it's not a short track.
Well, semi.
Yeah.
Semi. I mean, it's not a super speedway. Of course, they might change the banking and start calling it a super speedway soon. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
So Bristol race, Sunday, day race, 3 p.m.
You got any? I've got Briscoe.
Should be a good race. Should be. Be interesting.
I hope so.
Fingers are crossed for a good race. We don't want another.
I don't want to take
last
another
2
nap.
weeks. Yeah, I thought we were going to take this. I thought we were going to start recording every other week just to get enough content to record. So, but that's all I got. That's all I got this week. You got anything else?
Nope. Well, I got a sneeze, but it won't come out. So.
Well, that's better than a fart. All right. Thanks to everybody who listens, watches, follows the show each week. We greatly appreciate you. Make sure to follow us on X, Facebook, Instagram, and Spotify. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts like Brandon did. When you leave a review, it helps other people find the show. And make sure to check out our presenting sponsor, Designs by Sydney. Other than that, y'all have a really good week, and we'll see you after Bristol. Bye, everybody.